Good evening, everyone. James Hicks here from Hicks New Media and Infotainment News. Welcome to another edition of The Lab. Just one person on screen right now, but Tall Boy will be here. He has been previously called to action. He's actually producing a show for Solar Records right now over on their YouTube channel. Hopefully he gets a chance to come and join us after that is done. But shouts out to him and for having that opportunity. But tonight, I'd like to welcome a gentleman who everyone in the ITN Infotainment News family knows, one of our contributing authors, someone who has gone to CES with me and the crew a few times and been in the trenches. He knows about technology. He's a technologist at heart as well. He's a good friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lance Gilliland. Brother
Thank you for the
Lance
intro.
Gilliland, how you doing, brother? I bring you on like Steve Harvey, like it's Kings of Comedy. Hopefully, that's the idea, Bernie Mac, but you're close. I'll bring you on as good as I can. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'll be the guy in the background throwing out the one-liners. How's that sound?
You'll be our flavor Flav, right? Just the hype guy.
Yeah.
First and foremost, brother, thank you for joining us tonight and coming in and providing some insight. It's always good to see you. It's always good to hear your commentary because I like the angle that you come from. You come from a very focused mindset. I can be the guy all over the board, and you got to kind of reel me back in sometimes. But I love when you and I get together and engage.
Likewise.
So today we were going to have a conversation about kind of a twofold conversation, kind of an ask me anything kind of deal. So folks that are watching and listening to the show, if you've got any questions that you have for us, it's always about technology. Consumer technology is the focus here on the lab. So if you've got mobile, if you've got television, if you've got compute, whatever types of questions that you have, we are here to answer them. I'm not the expert, but Lance is. I'm just the Wizard of Oz behind the scenes, right, doing all of the controls from a producing perspective. But tonight, I think we wanted to talk about some apps that we like and kind of what's on the home screen of our mobile device. What are those applications that you carry around with you with this thing that you can't live without or that you're always looking at? Not counting Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Let's keep those out of it. We don't even want. We're going to leave those Snapchats and the TikToks. Don't even all that stuff. Let's leave those off of the list.
So if I'm a teenager, I'm saying, what good's the phone then? If I don't have that.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's one way to put it.
I interviewed my kids on this like before tonight's episode, and they listed off all the things they use, and they pretty much everything you just listed. Like that's it. That's all they use it for. So
that's all. They don't even use it to make calls, right? They text mom and dad once in a while, but it's all about the TikToks and the what's the other one that they do?
There's Snapchat.
It's the Snapchat. Golly, I can't
Instagram
get into
big
it,
here
brother.
in the household.
Okay. I do have a number of Instagram accounts. Some aliases, kind of like Kevin Durant. With his Twitter accounts, I've got a number of different aliases. But I cut you off. You said you don't have or you don't use Facebook a lot, and curious about that.
No, the kids don't use
Okay.
Which I think
that's a good thing.
Probably
that's
already
a good
know,
thing.
right?
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, anyway, I cut you off. So you were talking about all those apps, and so the premise tonight is besides social media and some of the obviously common items, what's your favorite thing? So, what you got?
Man, you just put me. You just come on screen and put me on the
Well, I
hot
can tell you
seat,
about
right?
one of mine. I can tell you about one of mine. You want me to go first?
No, I'll go first because as we were talking kind of pre-show, I got a handful because I picked some that maybe that no one else has.
Okay.
And this will be in your realm of knowledge since you're a man of finance. Stash Invest. So I use the Stash Invest app. Really allows me to purchase stock, purchase funds at kind of what Schwab is now doing, what they call stock slices, right? So I'm able to get into the Teslas, which are now at $2,000. I'm able to get in them at a lower rate and accumulate enough to actually fulfill a share. Right, so I'm able to get into them at one time at $50 or $100 or whatever, and add that up to a full share. So instead of going in and having to buy one share at $2,000, again, I can contribute either on a regular recurring basis, one time purchase, or whatever the case may be. So Stash has been really nice for me to be able to take some other funds, kind of honestly some of the Hicks New Media funds, right, that aren't allocated to the house, and use those to build another portfolio. I don't know if my wife is watching, but now she kind of knows where Daddy's slush fund is. But it's going in a good place. It's going in a good place. And it's really nice. It's a good desktop experience. Great mobile app as well. You can buy into it at different levels. Do you need another 401k fund account? Do you need retirement and savings accounts for your children, or do you just want the ability to go in and invest yourself? So that's kind of where I'm at. I've got those others already set up, so I've been pretty happy with it thus far. I've actually recommended it to some extended family, and they're having success with it as well.
So is it mainly like individual stock slices and purchases, or and are you all managing this on your own, or do they have investment
So
advisors or anything?
that's a good point. So the level that I'm in actually has me managing everything my own, right? You can scale up to some of the different levels that they have and actually have more market insight, more reporting and things of that nature. And it is stocks and funds as well. So I'm able to get in and do some of that.
Any of the virtual currencies, or I see Jen.
Oh, jeez. Let me straighten up. Uh-oh. I got some explaining to do in about 45 minutes. No, it's all good.
So any of the virtual currencies, or is it mainly traditional stocks and investment?
Yeah, good, and that's a good question, right? Because I've had another number of shows talking about altcoin, talking about Bitcoin and things of that nature. This particular app focuses on traditional funds and things of that nature. So none of the Bitcoins or the altcoin marketplaces. You're starting to look at some of that now, right? I believe you're dabbling in some of that, right?
Yeah, I just so an app that I just loaded is called Donut, and so we got a question coming in, a good beginner app. So I guess let's focus on that first. I guess maybe on Stash. Is that good for a beginner investor? Talk about that, and then we'll go back to Donut.
It is, right? And again, depending on which level that you come in at, because it assumes that you know what you're looking for, right? So the last purchase that I made, when I invest, I don't trade. When I invest, I actually look at organizations and companies that I patronize myself or me as a family. So the last company that I bought into was Target. Right, we're always there. We use it. We believe in the company. I might as well own a piece of it. Right, I own Apple. Why? You guys know I've been drinking the Apple Kool-Aid for years. Boom, there you go, right there. I own Tesla because look, I'm an Elon Musk kind of guy, so I own that. But I'll even tell you some of what my portfolio looks like. So it's like the Microsoft, Tesla. Some worldwide technology funds as well, so not just focusing on U.S. funds and U.S. companies. But long story short there for Dave, yeah, it definitely is easy for you to come in as a beginner, knowing what you want, or even not knowing what you want, or you can scale up your membership and again have some of those insight reports come in on a daily basis from stock analysts who are researching the market for you. So you can do it yourself, or you can have folks kind of behind the scenes working with you to do it, but you make all the decisions yourself.
Okay. So one last question from me on Stash, and then again back to Donut. Can you automatically, on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, push funds over there, like automatic payroll deposit kind of thing?
Exactly. Yeah, and so it's like one of the opportunities is like some of the internet banks, right? If you do all your direct deposit, I haven't done this. They say you can get your funds 2 days before you traditionally would with the large scale banks, right? So with the brick and mortar banks, I haven't done that,
Okay.
but you can set up regular recurring amounts to go into your debit account or into specific stocks and funds as well. So I do that with a handful of investment opportunities as well, to set up a regular recurring every 2 weeks. Boom, X goes into this particular company, and X goes into kind of slush funds, right? So I got a want, a need, and an emergency fund. Glad I got the emergency fund because I had the HVAC folks out here today. I'm just going to pivot for a minute. I had the HVAC folks out here this morning, and we need to come up with a couple extra dollars to pay for some new duct work, which wasn't a good way to start the day, but welcome to 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Donut, it's a relatively new app, and it allows you to sort of slowly invest, kind of like what you're saying with Stash, in like Bitcoin. So what you do is you set up basically your bank account to feed money over there on some trigger basis. You can set up different rules, but I have mine set at like every time I do a transaction, it'll round the dollars. So if I make a 99 cent, something into 99 cent, it'll accumulate a penny, and every time I hit $1 or $10, it'll sweep $10 out of my checking account.
Okay.
And start to invest that in Bitcoin. And then if Bitcoin appreciates, then the account will appreciate, etc. You can withdraw funds, move funds around. And they also have a savings option. So right now they're averaging about 3% interest, which is pretty good for savings accounts right now. And you can sweep money into that as well, and then move money in and out of those accounts. It's not as fast as a traditional bank, so it takes like 5 to 7 days to move money in and out. But for me, I wanted to try to learn a little bit more about like Bitcoin and some of the other currencies, and so I thought this was a sort of like small way that didn't require a whole bunch of money up front to get involved. Kind of watch that market and see how that's performing, and then have like real money, only a little, only like $50 right now, but just something that I'll pay attention to over time. So
now, let me ask: does Donut allow you to use Bitcoin for real world purchases? Right? Do you get like a debit card, a physical card? Okay, because I know some of the platforms allow you to do that kind of thing, right? Actually go out and say, I want to pay for my Safeway purchase with Bitcoin or whatever.
Not yet.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's on their roadmap for development. This is more of like a savings opportunity.
Okay. All right. I like that. It's all about saving, folks. Keep that. Look, don't spend it all. Don't do that. You got kids going to school. You got HVAC issues.
Right.
You need some extra dollars sitting around somewhere underneath the mattress.
You got to buy more apps.
Got to buy, and you got to sponsor, and you got to support ITN Live. Let me throw that plug in. No, I'll stop. Well, you did yours, so you did another one. You did Donut, so I guess it's my turn now, and then we'll bring on tall boy, Mr. Corey Sanders. I see him sitting in the green room there with his glass of Minute Maid orange juice.
Don't eat all the Skittles.
Don't eat them. Don't eat them. I've got a wide variety, so I'm gonna say my next one would be Life Sum. I'm going through withdrawals right now because as you guys know, and I'm not in the greatest mood because of COVID, because I can't go to the gym, and I'm having withdrawals from that. But LifeSum is an app that allows you to track your macros, track your food intake, your water intake, your caffeine intake, things like that, right? And really, if you've got a specific goal of gaining weight, losing weight, whatever the case may be, it allows you to see exactly what it is you're putting in your body on a daily basis. And quite frankly, when you track what you're doing from a consumption perspective, and I had this conversation earlier today on ITN Live with Greg Narain, when you actually track what you're putting into your body, it's amazing the data that you have, right? It's actually very, very telling. how many times you make that trip to the refrigerator, especially now when we're locked up. How many times you get those Doritos, or this was me yesterday with the Doritos. So and the $3 Pazookies yesterday from BJ's that we wouldn't got. Those things are horrible. How many cups of coffee did I drink every single day? I start the day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I don't stop drinking coffee till 10 o'clock at night. That's a bad thing. But Lifesum really allows you to track again all of that intake and set goals for yourself, and really enable you to plan progressively to a particular goal. So,
Okay.
let me bring Corey on. Tall boy, wake up now! Don't you're on camera now? Don't fall asleep.
Look,
Yes, sir.
hearing everything, man. I was trying to share the video and everything, but I will get fancy on you though. I'm sorry.
See, oh jeez, there he goes with that. Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show. I'm sure I gave a little plug for your Solar event, and I logged into it as well. I saw some things. I gave some comments on that. Hopefully that went well.
Yeah, actually it was good. Got a phone call about 2 weeks ago, shall we say? And hold on 1 second.
Oh my.
Yeah,
You know what?
I made a phone call. I received a phone call. As you know, I did the interview with the Whispers the day before my birthday. So the young man that hooked me up, he said, "Hey man, can you help us with doing something similar?" And make a long story short, this was their second episode. The first one was just doing it straight from their phones, and then what we saw tonight was the Tall Boy Experience, shall we say? So
Yeah.
I literally just got through producing their show. Had to do a quick recap with them, and then here I am with our show.
I love it.
My man,
What's up, Corey? How you doing, man?
What I'm talking about.
Long time no see, man.
Obviously, folks, we go back, right? This is family right here. This is what the lab is supposed to be, right here with family. So Corey, we've already gone through a couple of apps in terms of the ones that we've got on our home screen, or the ones that we really like, that we feel that we can't live without. You know the drill, but I didn't give you kind of the one of the rules. It can't be a social media app. It can't be a Twitter or Facebook or an Instagram or a Snapchat or a TikTok. So it's got to be a real app. Sorry, it's going to have to be a real app.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, something outside of social media. Out of your standard.
Sure I don't have any social
Hotmail.
media. He said Hotmail. Oh my.
Oh wow. So I'm going through my phone right now, and the only one that's not on my social media on my first page is my banking apps.
Which is where we all started from as well, right? We all started talking banking as well. I love it.
Okay, my banking apps, WhatsApp, because of the travel that I do and the friends that I have WhatsApp. But I think that's social media, so that doesn't count. Well, this is on my main page, but then I also have a thing called G Notes. So I can write down notes, take a picture, put it in there, so if I ever need to come back to it, passwords, whatever the case may be. On my first page, I have a thing called G Note. So I don't know if you guys, you can't see it, but it's G Notes. That's on my very first one, and because I do interviews, the Easy Voice Recorder, they have a free version and a paid version. So if I'm having a conversation with you and you're telling me something that I need to know, all the time people tell you stuff, but they tell you to write it down so you can actually remember it. Yeah. Well, I just turn on my app and Easy Voice Recorder. I paid for the premium version, and you can record it. So if you ever want to transfer the files, you can, as opposed to it just sitting on the phone. And there's a lot of great conversations that I cannot share with you.
Oh my! Well, that could be a show in and of itself, right there. Just what you've got stored in the archives, right?
If I ever want to if I want to catch you slipping, I can easily just have my phone up and press the Easy Voice Record. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say.
Hey, Lance. Hold on, Lance. What have we told him over the past 5, 6, 7 years that he may have had recorded? Okay.
Lose all that.
So with that being said, can we talk about it? We're not going to talk about the illegal apps, right? We can't talk about those.
You can talk about whatever you want to, but I want to pivot on something right now and ask you guys both this, because you just brought up an interesting point: free versus paid apps. And I'm a true believer of there it is, ladies and gentlemen, that Minute Maid right there, straight to the dome. You thought I was playing, right? Straight to the dome right there.
I'm waiting for you to get us a sponsor. Come on now. Come now.
I'm gonna work on that. I will work on that. I can't make this stuff up, man. I needed this today. Man.
Sponsor King, come on, make it happen. Give us this Monterey sponsorship, man. You drink your water. Lance, you have your creatine. But I got my.
All right, little
right,
brown estates Pinot right here. But my question was about free versus premium apps, right? And I'm a huge believer and proponent of you get what you pay for. So I mean, there are some things that you don't have to pay for in terms of some of the apps. You know, the free version is decent, but what about you guys? What's the majority of your applications that you have? Do you actually have just a free version, or have you kind of upscaled and paid for the premium versions? Start with you, Lance.
So I used to be more about, trying to do the free versions, but over the last few years, I've definitely been supporting the developers. While I get annoyed sometimes about the subscription model, I do understand, for longevity of an application, that you support the developers and keep that process going, make sure they get paid, they can feed their family. So I'm definitely in the boat of paying for the apps that I use on a regular basis. So we talked earlier about Evernote. You talked about using G Notes. James and I both use Evernote. I think we both pay for the premium version.
Yeah,
it's a great app, and I support it wholeheartedly. I got a couple other apps that I was going to feature today that I also pay the $9, $10, whatever, because they're useful to me. They add value to my life, and I want to give back to those developers.
I like that.
For me, I think it all depends on how bad do I need it or how bad do I want it, shall we say.
Okay.
Financially, we're going to always go with free because free 99 is the greatest thing that ever hit the world. But there's some apps that I have paid for, such as the Easy Voice Recorder. There's about 2 or 3 reposts that I use for social media because I like. Say you post something on social media, and you know how in that bottom left-hand corner or right-hand corner it has your name on it.
Right.
I don't. My thing is I'm all about branding, and I wanted to be original for myself. So I paid for that lifetime license for the repost app, shall we say? So that's what I use per se. There's not a lot of free a lot of apps that I have purchased the premium version. Like I said, you just, for me, I really don't deal with apps per se. So it's like it's funny that as much as I'm on my phone, I'm using the same one. So I haven't really found anything that has made me say I have to pay for this premium version outside of the Easy Voice Recorder and the repost. And then I'm mad at myself because I did not pay for the premium version for G Notes. Just upgraded my phone, and everything that I had was gone.
Oh.
As far as images are concerned. So I still have everything that I typed out, but all my images. So maybe let's say like a business license, or maybe you have your social security card, a copy of your passport or something like that, and you just need to pull the number. I lost all those images by not paying for that premium version when I upgraded to my phone. So
we got to sit down and work out like a backup plan for you. How to back up your images, how to restore that stuff. Well, it seems to be an ongoing theme, Corey.
It's called the cloud, but I don't believe in the cloud. I don't.
How many times you got to lose all your data, brother, and before you start believing? And
you know what the funny thing is? In all honesty, the funny thing is I am literally considering investing in solid state hard drives now as opposed to external hard drives. So, but I just don't believe. I don't believe, and I don't like subscription models. So it's like, give me a one-time fee and I'm done. Okay. And then I'm great. But if you tell me $9.99 a month or $120 for the year, I'm thinking 2021, 2022, do I really want to pull another $120 out of the hat per se? There was a cool app that I did have. I met them at CES. but I guess they did an update and you can no longer do it. You have to have the premium version, but I still have it on my phone called Hammer Mill Print or Hammer Print. And you can print any document that you have on any printer. So if you have your document, if you email me a document right now, and I have an Epson printer, you have a Canon printer, you have that app, it doesn't matter. You can be in a public place, you can be in your private, in your own home, and you can actually print that document without linking it to a computer. You can literally just link the app to it, and you're good to go.
Okay, all right.
So Hammer Print is what it's called.
Hey, I got to show you how to use Google Cloud Printer because you can do a very similar thing.
Once all this COVID is done and we don't have to wear masks and we can actually go somewhere, that's what we're going to do. We're all going to just meet in Atlanta and show you what it is that we do behind the scenes.
I'm going to bring you some hard drives, bring you some cables, get you hooked up with a backup plan.
Yeah, we've got extra drives all over the place, so we can make that happen.
Because I'm the tech guy and I'm the guy that keeps messing up on, like something.
Just saying.
Hey man.
I love it. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Lance, what you got? So I did Stash, I did LifeSum. What's your next app?
Okay, this one isn't necessarily on my home screen, but it is embedded in sort of the infrastructure of my phone now. So it's called 1Password. So I don't know about you guys, but I have literally thousands of user IDs and passwords. And when it is hard to remember when you're trying to keep the IDs and passwords unique.
Yep.
It is tough to remember all those. So I use that to secure, generate, store all of my user IDs and passwords. I got credit cards in there. And with the app on the iPhone, it's integrated. So anytime it sees a password come up on a web app that you're trying to go into, it'll basically do Face ID, pop in your user ID password, and you move on, and it's great. I bought the family plan. It's a subscription model, but I can share it with my kids so they can start managing their own passwords. If somebody gets hacked, the passwords are unique, and you can set different parameters for password generation and keep track of all of them. When you set it up, take notes about it, all kinds of stuff. So that's one of my favorites that I use on a daily basis.
And that's really interesting. I use LastPass. Okay. But you mentioned something that you actually use the app to create and generate passwords itself. That's probably what I should be doing, because if you can crack one of my passwords, you've got access to darn near everything in my world. I should probably do that. And I don't know if LastPass has, because I use LastPass. I'm not sure if they have a family model. So let me take a look at 1Password as well. But I'm a huge proponent of that as well, brother, because if you keep using the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or your last name and your address, it's only going to take a week before somebody out there cracks that code.
I mean, you can go look on the internet, see how many times your email has been hacked in some of the bigger hacks, or shows up in the dark net. And I mean, one of my main emails is like 30 long about how many times somebody got my ID and password, but they're all unique. So I'm not too worried about it. I go change that one and move on.
Okay. And you said yours has the ability to do Face ID as well? So you can actually just open up the 1Password app with okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right. It doesn't work perfectly. Sometimes I have to type in I have a long password for that would be tough to crack. It's like 30 characters long, so I don't like having to type that in. But most of the time, the Face ID works perfectly, and it'll fill it in.
Cool.
And it's called 1Pass, you said?
1Password.
1Password.
The number 1 and the word password.
Okay. I'm trying to find a piece of paper to write that down instead of using my G notes.
Don't lose your G notes, because you might lose it.
Yeah,
but
you better back that up.
Back that thing up, brother. Back that up. Don't worry, if you don't write it down, I'll put these in the show. I always say I'm gonna put them in the show notes and post it on the site. and eventually that's going to be utilized as premium content for the channel. I still haven't gotten around to doing all of that, so everyone's getting all this stuff for free right now. Take advantage, because one of these days I'm gonna get on top of it, and all this good content, good collateral is going to be behind the. I'm not gonna say behind a paywall, but behind a subscription model.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So James, you next.
It's all you, man. It's all you.
So the next one that I have, shall we say, that would be good. Oh, great music app. Local DJs here in Atlanta. They have an app. I used to work with these brothers at the radio station, and some of them just decided to branch off. And even though they're still affiliated with the radio station, it's open to all DJs around the United States, 247mixing.com. And for the most part, 90% of the music is all clean. And it could be R&B, it could be hip hop, it could be trap music. But basically, if you are a DJ and you would like to DJ and would like a platform to be reached that can reach around the world, 247mixing.com. So sometimes everybody's trying to use Spotify, everybody's trying to use Apple Music, but if you're just looking for a DJ that just, if you want to have your own party, they literally have 1 hour time slots, and each DJ just comes in. So because of my relationships with the creators of them, of 247mixing.com, I call myself saying, you know what, this is support those who support you, shall we say. So they're doing their thing, and basically any DJ you could reach out to the 247 Mixing to their contact page, or they'll tell you in their promos. And if you're a DJ, and they'll give you a time slot, or they'll try to fit you in, and it's free for us as listeners. So if you have a birthday party, or if you just really, just trying to, clean up on a Saturday morning, I've even heard blues on there. I have not heard country or rock, but
sold.
Yeah,
I'm in.
So how do they get around copyright and that type of thing?
It's their platform. So from my understanding, I know that they're running advertisements, but that's something that you're going to have to talk to them. Maybe we can get them.
Okay.
Maybe we can get them on the show, and that could be a question that you can pose to them. But I mean, you got DJs from all over the world that are literally spinning their music, from Jamaican to soca to, I don't know the time slots, but just know that the DJs, they have 1 hour time slots, and they come in, it's either 30 minutes or an hour time slot, and they literally just spin whatever they feel like spinning that day in their slot.
All right, I'm checking it out right now. And again, because I asked it just fired up there. Hold on, let me turn that off. DJ Sax from Cleveland just kicked in over there, so I had to turn that off. Because I've gotten a handful of YouTube copyright infringements just from the outro to this show, and I fought them, and I've gotten them dealt with. But again, those are just 20-second snippets. So I just wonder how.
Well, you got to remember, they're not posting this on social media, so it's literally just an app, and they're just playing music.
Okay.
It's not like they're on YouTube and they're saying, "Hey, check us out on 247 Mixing." No, it's just literally like the radio station. They have their apps and say, log on to their station. These are these DJs saying, here's a platform to where, like you said, you would have never known who that DJ is from Cleveland had I not mentioned.
That's true. Shouts out to DJ Sax. We listening to you, brother. We all the way on the West. All the way over here in California. Right. Okay. All right. So let's see. Who's up? Is it me?
Yeah, it's you. What's you?
You.
Oh my God! It's why everyone's always waiting on me. It seems like. My next app is Streaks. Streaks is an application that I use. I don't use it as much as I should, to be honest with you. But again, it's along the self-improvement side, right? So from a fitness perspective, how many days, how many hours, how long did you work out this week? Did you train this week? Did you do this? Whatever it came to be. But I have historically used it to put a reminder every 2 weeks to say, reach out to someone you haven't reached out to, right? Call someone, call a friend just to check on them. And that's the reason why I actually installed Streaks to be able to track my ability to do that, right? I like to write stuff down. I like to use technology because again, that's who I am. And Streaks is a great app that does that. It's graphical. It's got an Apple Watch application as well, so I can get a haptic notification. I can get that buzzing on my wrist to say, hey, call a friend you haven't called one in 2 weeks. Do that. Check that off your list, and you're done, kind of thing. So, yeah, I like that. I think there's value in that for me.
And it's just STREAKS.
Yeah. So I use it to. I've got, drink 64 ounces of water. Haven't done that yet.
You have to manually type this in.
Well, yeah, you set up your goals that you want to do, and so like I say, exercise for X number of hours, take your vitamins. I've got restrict amount of caffeine, get some exercise, call a friend, that kind of thing. So you set up these goals that you have, these streaks that you want to maintain, and throughout the day, it gives you reminders. Hey, have you drank your 8 ounces of water yet? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You should be down with 2 already. So no, you got to get that reminder. So yeah, STREAKS is the name of the app. It's pretty customizable. I like that. So you can make it your own. You can set up a reminder or a goal for just about anything. And I did pay for it as well, but the free version just doesn't have all of the analytics, right? So when you pay for it, you get all of these are what your streaks look like from a long term period of time. So
and how much
check that out.
How much is the premium version?
I don't think it was that much. I think look, I'm a little.
Is that much?
I'm frugal as well. So it was no more than $4.99. I would tell you that. After $5, then I'm like, I'm not going to pay for that.
Oh, Jen must be watching.
I think she is. Yeah,
it's free, honey.
I keep looking to see if she coming from the back end there. You know me well, brother. You know me well.
Now, is this a one-time fee or is this a yearly subscription model?
Good point. Yeah, it's a one-time fee. You buy it one time. It's the mobile phone, iPad, watch, and iMessages that you get the notifications from. I'm trying to find out exactly how much it costs, but again, it was no more than $5.
Daily habit tracker, you said?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. It's still circling around for me. Okay.
Oh, now they've just added an Apple TV integration as well, so that's pretty cool. So
that doesn't help me.
Well, you need to join the Apple family.
I already had that conversation.
We've had, okay. I'll be quiet.
So yeah,
I'll
just
be
throw your
quiet.
hands up, put your logo on your back TV.
There you go.
All right, so I have a productive habit tracker. So is it Streaks only is it only available for iOS?
I believe so. Yeah, at this time. So
okay, so I'm looking in the Android in the Google Play Store, and I do not see it, but I see some other ones that seem like they're similar, but just not.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it online now, and it's just for Mac. So you can buy it for your actual Mac desktop or laptop, and then for your phone.
Lance, are you Android or are you iOS?
iOS.
All the way.
Okay.
Every Gilliland in the nation. There's a
Maybe,
lot of
I
them.
don't know.
So basically, I'm the only lone Android person in here that's trying to, because remember, more people have Android phones than.
We not fight. We've already fought that fight. We
all I'm saying is it's kind of hard to support an app, and it's not available in most stores.
No, that's true, and I believe. I mean, a lot of app developers know that they've typically said upfront that they will build for iOS first because they feel that it's easier to
They're just lazy.
market towards that audience. It's just what.
He said they're just lazy.
They are. No, honestly. I mean, again, it's just, and that just correlates to what I said. It's easier to market to that one demographic because it's one OS. Everything works exactly the same. You don't have the flexibility and the customization that you have on the Android side. I completely agree with that. So a lot of developers have started with iOS because it's easier to get into the back pockets of those users as opposed to something that you're expecting to have customizable widgets. You're expecting to have the ability to, nice and de-nice, nice and re- I had to use some of my old Unix conversation there, right? Change the memory utilization of the application. You can do all that kind of customization on the back end with Android. You can't do that with iOS. So, no, I agree with you. We don't have to go down that again. We already beat the dead horse. We already beat the dead horse.
No. In all honesty and fairness, I'm not trying to beat iOS app developers up. I'm just saying that we know that there's going to be a small, or I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying there's an audience for iOS, but the majority of the people are going to have Android. And it's one of those situations where when I would go to TechCrunch or Disrupt, shall we say, or I would go to CES and I'm meeting these different people, and they say, well, check us out, check out our app. And like you said, it's only available on iOS. It's kind of hard for me to want to interview you, and I don't do iOS. And I know that the market is not really for, there's not a huge market for iOS. So when you say, oh, this app is only available, it kind of defeats the purpose in the interview. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. And I think, I'm certain that a lot of app developers are heeding that, and they've heeded that message over the years. And I think they're starting to get more in tandem with their releases. This one apparently hasn't.
In all fairness, years ago, I had an app, the Tallboy Experience. We actually had an app.
Yeah, I remember you had that. Yeah.
We had an app where you can download it and you can watch our videos right there from your phone. And we had an app, and I think it was, you could pay a one-time fee for iOS, but then we had a monthly fee that we had to pay for Android. And because we were Android users, we paid that monthly fee for years. The problem was just trying to get people to download the app because we didn't have any marketing strategy, shall we say. And it's easier for you to go to YouTube as opposed to download my app and you're waiting for content, if that makes sense. It's not like we had any radio play or we were in newspapers and said, download the Tallboy app. Even though it was cool and people that are in the business sector says, you have an app? Now everybody has an app. Well, you're talking about 2009, 2010, you got an app? That's it. So no, and that's something that needs to be said, because like you said, at the end of the day, iOS developers, they design it for your audience only. And then when you do iOS and Android, you have to keep up with those updates, shall we say? Whereas iOS, y'all don't necessarily have as many updates as we do with Android, or the security measures, shall we say, that you have to go through. So, this is something to think about. That's all.
No, that's true. That's good. That's a good topic. That's a good point that you make there. Good point.
I always make good points. I don't know.
Oh, see, there he goes. There he goes.
Tell him, man.
Oh, jeez. Lance, what you got, man? What you got?
Well, I'm gonna disappoint Mr. Tallboy.
Oh, jeez, it's only iOS again.
Yeah. So, I bought an iPad Pro last year, and the killer app for me for this iPad has been GoodNotes. GoodNotes is like a note-taking application. You handwrite with the you can type too, but I use the Apple Pencil. Write down my notes. It will index my notes. It does a fantastic job of handwriting recognition, so I can go back and search through everything. I don't know about you all, but I read the bullet journal book, started incorporating some of the bullet journal
Yeah.
methodology into what I
I've
do.
heard
And
about
so
that.
having a handwritten methodology, handwritten notes helps me out a lot. And yeah, GoodNotes has been the app that I've chosen. I've experimented with a few of them, and this has been the one that's kind of stood out as being the best for me to use to capture to-dos and
Okay.
notes on conversations. I'm taking notes right now from our conversation that I can keep and search back later. Write down the apps that we talked about, so I can go look those up later. It's just a great app. It's simple, like it doesn't sound like it's not romantic, not like this, you know, super whiz bang thing, but it's got a lot of features and functionality that I just love. And it was, I want to say it was $10.
Well,
So
it's showing
great.
$7.99 for GoodNotes 5 right now. So
Okay,
I
yes,
mean,
maybe it's on sale or maybe they dropped the
oh,
price. I don't know, but it's good stuff.
okay. Number 4 in the productivity category. So, but it looks like it also has a desktop companion as well, right? So you can actually
For a
install it
Mac,
on your.
which I
Yes.
don't have. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I've not experimented with that, but yeah, they do have a Mac app.
All right. All right. I'm trying to get into that, right? Again, using because I got an iPad Pro as well, and I've got the the pencil. Just haven't really taken advantage of using that aspect of the platform to its fullest potential. I know it works well because when I've tried it and just played around with it, the image recognition, the ability to circle and draw and paint and annotate, do all of those things works
Hmm.
phenomenally well. I just haven't gotten. I think what I need, and I really don't need. Here we go again, me talking about spending money. I think I need that new iPad Pro with the pencil that like docks right onto the device,
Yeah,
and I
I
don't
get it.
have to plug it into like some weird lightning connector. So maybe we'll talk offline. Maybe I'll see if I can make a deal with someone to do that. Man, I can't do these shows when my wife is awake. I gotta. We may have to move these shows to a little bit later in the evening.
Yeah, late night technology.
Yeah, that's what it is. Moonlight with 24/7 mixing and the lab.
Get a nice soundtrack going in the background. Okay, I'm down.
That's what we gonna do. We appreciate that, Corey. Yeah, okay. I like that. Good notes. Okay. Oh boy, what you got, brother?
Well, I mean,
Don't disappoint.
Lance is overbearing on the screen because the producer.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, I told you, I'm like the Wizard of Oz, man. You don't see what's happening behind the scenes, but I got you. Don't worry about it. I
You
got you.
got me. Okay, I got you. So my next one is DB Prompter. So I work in media. It's actually a teleprompter app. So you can, for example, I was at a concert this past weekend with DVD and Jagged Edge, and although I did not get my drops, usually you're telling people to say something, and they're like they get you, but then when you can pull it up on the screen.
Okay. Before you go on, because you're making an assumption there, so folks that aren't familiar with the radio industry, explain to them what you mean when you say a drop. We know what you mean, but explain.
I want a shout out. So you say, "Hey, can you give me a shout out? Your artist, such as your Beyonce, your Meg Thee Stallion, your Justin Bieber, or whoever it may be," and I just get through doing an interview and say, "Hey, can I get you to just give me a drop to kind of promote the show or promote whatever it is that I'm doing?" And they're like, "Yeah, no problem." So instead of me just saying, "Hey, this is Tall Boy. Do you want the experience?" Tall Boy will give it to you. Well, they'll say, "Hey, this is Tall Man. Hey, this is Justin Bieber or Meg Thee Stallion or Beyonce. Do you? I'm hanging out with Tall Man," and it's like, no. So I just literally put up the screen and, "Hey, this is whatever your name is. Do you want the experience? Tall Boy is about to bring it to you." So that's big enough for everyone to see, and
Yeah.
you don't mess it up. So you watch it. You can literally. I actually have a teleprompter here, so I've only used it a handful of times, shall we say. But say someone is saying that they need to memorize their lines, and I would just set it up underneath the tripod and bolt it down to the camera and the glass to where I can even mirror it, just as if it's an actual teleprompter for if I'm in studio somewhere. So for me, it serves as two purposes: one for in-house, and then another one where I'm literally out in the streets and I just need you to read something on video for me, shall we say?
If you can read, you can do this. You're teaching them, not even teaching them how to fish. You're putting the fish in their hand. Okay.
Yeah, I'm literally. And you can change the font size, you can change the colors. I mean, and it's all free. So
Okay.
it's a free app. It's called DV Prompter. It should be in the iOS and Android store, from my understanding. But once again, that's something that you guys can check on your own. But if you just need a quick messaging, or you telling somebody, "Hey, wrap up in 5 minutes," you can just type out 5 minutes, and they know. You can then you're producing the show, but let's just say you had Isaiah on the show and you were producing it for him. You could just flag that up on the phone, on your phone. He can see it and he knows he needs to start wrapping up.
Right. That makes sense because I've used teleprompter apps before for remote presentations that I've had to do. Right, so I can train one eye to look over here while I'm supposed to be looking over here and have kind of my script. So I mean those are valuable, and I think the one that I have on my iPad is actually a free version as well. It does what it needs to do. I think the premium version allows you to export it out to a PDF. I don't need that. I just need to scroll up and down the screen. All right, let's see. Let's keep moving.
We have any questions out there, James?
I've always got questions, but
no, I mean,
that's why.
Members.
His ego, man. His ego.
See,
he's a star.
I'm not on the big screen yet. Wait till I put myself on the big screen. I may take you guys off. So
yeah, careful. He's gonna shut us down.
He runs the show.
Wizard of Oz back here. I got the purse strings. I mean, I got the no questions as of yet, but I know folks are watching. So I'm looking at all these other screens. So I ADHD a little bit, and so I see where we're streaming at multiple locations right now. I'm gonna say Canva next. Canva is the app that what you laughing at, brother? So
I use it every week.
So Canva is so shouts out to Canva, shouts out to Pagely. Canva is hosted by Pagely, who hosts Infotainment News. Shouts out to my boy Joshua Strebel and the team out there. Appreciate you on that. That's a little plug.
So you're endorsed? Hold up. Hold up. You didn't even help with the endorsement?
Hold on.
And I use this every week? Wow.
Now the family. I need to drink. Hold on. We not endorsed. Not endorsed by Canva. Yeah, the wheels. What is it?
I'm jealous right now.
I got a lot of things going on in the background. Let me tell you something. The hustle is always on. We don't sleep around here, brother. We don't sleep.
The one thing I can tell you before he goes.
Oh my gosh!
Is this brother right here? If he has his mind locked onto something, he gonna find the CEO. He gonna find the marketing director, and he gonna tell you that he's an influencer, and he's gonna make it happen.
We don't stop.
He tells you, I'm a sponsor. I'm a sponsor. Shout out to blah 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 blah. And I'm over here scraping up pennies, and that's why he can spend the $4.99 and the $10. That's why he can do it, because we got a whole bunch of sponsors.
Every time I mention your name, there goes some Venmo. No, they go to PayPal. We won't go into that. Those are two good apps too. We'll shout out to Venmo and PayPal. I'm not sponsored by them, but use them on a daily basis.
But go ahead.
Canva is the app that I primarily use for creative content, creating overlays, creating animated slideshows, creating logos, everything, all of the collateral for all of the shows on the Infotainment News, all the Infocasts is primarily made through Canva. There's the desktop environment, and I really love the fact that they've got a mobile environment, iOS and Android. Really, really intuitive, really robust. I recommend you going in and buying the premium subscription. There is a free one as well, and you get a lot of availability. But when you buy that premium, man, you can start making stickers. You can start making actual physical. So every sticker that I've had printed, well, no, not all of them, but a lot of the stickers I've had for for these series of shows came straight from Canva. Really, quick turnaround on that. Just high quality in terms of the assets that they provide and they offer to you. So I use Canva. I use a company called Placeit, which is part of Envato, and the Adobe Spark whole ecosystem, part of the whole Adobe platform. But Canva is really the one that I'm recommending for any creative professional out there looking to build digital assets. So even from a social media perspective, right? You're trying to make an Instagram story pop, look a little bit better than someone else's. Use Canva to build that asset. You can add in the animation. You can add in different images, videos, and things of that. It's really a intuitive application platform to use. So shouts out to them for that.
I will say this: if you go to within the last 60 days, I've been using Canva. My YouTube thumbnails have been awesome. Just by using them as opposed to taking a screenshot, shall we say, and then trying to create a graphic in my editing suite. I literally, it's great. It's great, shall we say, to have that thumbnail and it really pops. Or you make an Instagram post or a Facebook post, and it automatically sizes it for the actual platform, shall we say. So you put a thumbnail, you want Instagram story, it literally creates whatever that the file format, and it gives you the template, and all you do is change the fonts, change the images, the colors. I mean, I speak very highly of Canva.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's drop dead simple, right? I mean, transparent PNGs to JPEGs, whatever, MP4 files for the videos. It's so seamless to use. When we started doing all this many years ago, right? We were concerned with what are the right dimensions for everything, but all of the templates, like as you were saying, there are there. So if you're building something for your YouTube banner, you're building something for a Twitch channel, or an Instagram story or a Facebook brand page, all of those templates are already there. You just bring in the assets, align them the way you need to, save them. You can share them off with folks who aren't even on the platform. So a lot of the overlays and the assets for some of the shows I've shared with you guys to say, how do you like this particular overlay or these particular banners, right? I mean, this is coming from Canva, and actually the outro for this show was completely built in Canva, right? It's just pretty seamless and pretty easy to use. So highly recommend that for all you creative professionals out there.
Good stuff.
Lance, what you got, man?
I was going to close out with something fun. So on iOS,
there you go. There you go.
So I don't have time to sit around and play games all day, or organize online gaming where me and several friends can get together and play a game at the same time. So I like to play asynchronous games.
Asynchronous games.
Yeah. So you log in, right? You create an account, you take a turn, and the next player gets an alert. They take their turn, and the games can go on for days or weeks or whatever. So several board games have been turned into iOS games. I think they're actually on Android as well. So I'll just mention a few of them. Galaxy Trucker is a game. So if anybody's listening or watching that is into board games, you probably heard of Galaxy Trucker. Another one's called Race for the Galaxy, and then one that's app only is called Disc Driving. All of these use notifications to tell you it's your turn, and you can set up, it depends on the game, but 4 to 6 players. Most of them are sort of 4-player oriented, but you can play with fewer. You can play with your friends. You can sign up to play games with other people you don't know. But those are some sort of fun and entertaining things that I see and actually use on a daily basis when I have time.
Okay.
I got a little break in the action.
Okay. So I know about Words with Friends.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't play Words with Friends. My wife plays Words with Friends. But is it kind of along that type of thing where one person goes, you get a
Yep.
notification, and then it's your turn kind of thing? Okay.
Right. Yep. Very similar in premise in terms of asynchronous play, right? You don't have to be sitting in front of your phone waiting for that turn to happen.
Oh, that's the
Someone
definition
takes
of
a turn.
asynchronous.
Yeah, so you don't have to be real time, right?
Okay.
You're not forced to sit in a room and play a game together. If I take a turn, you'll get an alert. You take the turn when you want,
Okay.
and then you'll take your turn. Maybe you take it at 2 a.m. because you're up drinking all that coffee all day. I'll
go.
I get an alert
You know,
in the morning.
you know me
when
well,
I get
brother.
up. I get an alert in the morning. I take my turn. You get an alert. So it's
All right,
just
all
back
right.
and forth. So
All right.
those are
Well,
some
well,
fun async
okay.
games.
I need to get some more games. I don't. I play solitaire, and that's the one game that I play. I should probably do
That's
something
lonely,
more.
man.
I'm a lonely guy. I'm a lonely guy. You know, it's terrible. I need to
You got all
actually
these virtual friends.
I need to admit that I actually have friends, and I always say I don't like people. I should change that. Yeah, you're right.
All right.
That'll be something new to come out for 2020. All right, so you're going to end on a good note like that. Let's we'll go with Tallboy. You got something that's
These
just
big
brewing.
boy over there.
Yeah, he's brewing something. I don't even know if we want to talk to you right now.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna do two. You kind of do two quick ones that y'all are all iOS. And
You can do whatever you want, sir.
It's not that they're my favorite. It's just that they're useful. Soundhound. So you ever been in the car or you're talking to somebody and you hear the song, like, what's the name of that song? You can literally download this app called Soundhound, and if they're registered, if the song is registered, you can literally press the button and it will listen to the song. And when it once it registers, it'll tell you the name of the song, who it was produced by, and who makes the song. So for me, Soundhound, that's like a go-to app, shall we say. But it's not like it's my favorite. It's just like, what's the name of that song? Or, and it's on the radio. We didn't get a chance to get into like our overseas apps and stuff like that since we've all been quarantined for the last couple of months.
Yeah, we can't use those right now.
And then there's some other good ones, shall we say, but most of my stuff is all really more media stuff. But I will say another good one is called Find My Device. And I think it's, you could literally download Find My Device on your phone, and then say you lose your phone, you can't find it, you can literally download Find My Device. And if I'm correct, don't quote me, but if I'm correct, you could download Find My Device you can download it on somebody else's phone, log into your account, and it will literally tell you where the phone is. And it literally pinpoints the phone. And I think as long as the battery is not dead, shall we say, it will play. It will do it. It will also secure the device as well, to where if you know that device is lost, stolen, you don't want anybody to get into it, it will lock it down to where you can't do nothing with the phone. So
that's the one from Google. Google and Apple has the same type of functionality integrated as well. But yeah, I've used that back in my Samsung Galaxy days, so I attest to that. Lance, it looked like you had a question that you were going to bring up about a question that
I was just going to add a little bit to Soundhound because I noticed lately, and this has probably been there for a while, but when you look up a song and it's still playing, it'll show you the lyrics in real time.
Yes,
and you can watch the lyrics go by. You can sing along if you're so inclined. But yeah, so you can see what's going on with the song real time. It's kind of nice.
So Shazam doesn't do that, right? I don't think because Shazam does the same type of thing, right? You got the digital version of a song playing on the radio or whatever, and you can find out where it is. But I don't think Shazam will do the lyrics. That's pretty cool.
I haven't used it in a while, so I couldn't tell you.
You got to come prepared, brother. I come at various angles.
I'm with Corey on this.
Everybody else is on Soundhound. So
you've known me for 15 years. I come at every angle, right? And
if you gotta come with facts. That's all we do is come with facts, man.
Oh my God!
You just coming with opinions.
There we go. See,
Talk to your sponsors and tell them they come back. Okay.
on that note, let me deviate right quick, and I'll just I'll come with mine right quick. You know, and I'm gonna come a little different. You got music, you got entertainment. I've got 3 apps that I like. I'm gonna go with Afterpay and QuadPay. Those are interesting apps that I've just started to see and take advantage of, right? So essentially, go out shopping, you buy something, large dollar value item, and you can split it up into, like QuadPay, you can split it up into 4 equal payments, but it'll come out of your checking account or your credit card, whatever. But you don't pay traditional credit card interest on it, right? So it's 4 equal payments for the same amount. There's no interest on it, and you have the ability to buy $1,000 worth of gym clothes. I've never bought $1,000 worth of gym clothes from Gymshark. I've bought a lower dollar amount, but you pay for them in 4 equal payments, and which is pretty cool. I'm seeing a lot more retail brick and mortar stores, Nordstrom, Macy's, that kind of thing, having the capability of using Afterpay or QuadPay as the primary purchasing source. So again, you go out there and buy that big 50-inch or what was it? No, I'm sorry, 80-inch TV or whatever the case may be, right? You can split that. You can use your QuadPay account and split it up into 4 payments. Walk out of there only paying $100, and you're good, right? And you pay it in 4 other payments. So I like that. I mean, I think that's an interesting model. It seems to work very well. I like the fact that it's completely secure. I like the fact that obviously that there's no interest on it as you make those payments, and it's being accepted at more larger retail brick and mortar type legacy stores as opposed to just going online and buying it at internet stores. And then my last app I will say is more of, again, we've talked about a lot of productivity and self-awareness, self-growing. Masterclass. I bought my wife a year subscription to Masterclass. I believe it was for her birthday or for our anniversary, and it's amazing. Look, it's Masterclass has the top. It is the top people in the world in every discipline, giving you kind of a one-on-one conversation about how to succeed, right? You've got folks like Gordon Ramsay teaching you how to make every dish on his menu. You've got Dr. Neil Tyson deGrasse talking to you about astrophysics and talking to you about understanding what is in the cosmos, and just having those types of conversations. You've got conversations with Samuel L. Jackson, how to act, how to improve your craft. I was watching Usher the other day talking about how to be Usher Raymond, about how to be an entertainer, right? The presence and how to use your body, use your voice, use your aura and your presence, things like that. So I mean, it's really intimate one-on-one dialogues and conversations that are typically about 10 episodes long, going through the steps and bettering yourself. So it's on the internet, it's on Apple TV, it's on mobile devices as well, so you can stream it on your mobile devices. Really love Masterclass. It costs a little bit, right, for the subscription.
Are these videos or are they audio versions?
It's all video, right? So it's them on your big screen or on your mobile device talking to you about best practices, about principles, about how to do whatever it is you're trying to do, how to cook, how to act, how to think, how to prepare, how to communicate, those types of things. It's a really good value for your money if you take a look at the Masterclass offering out there.
Yeah, you got like Bob Woodward teaches investigative journalism. Yeah, Ron Howard teaching how to be a director.
Ron Howard.
Me. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you can't. I mean, Steven Spielberg, Ron Howard. Those are guys that they wrote the book literally, and they're talking to you about how they do their craft.
Cool.
Before we close out the show, I have an LG phone, and we all know Samsung. Um, well, no, I'm not trying to be funny.
No,
No.
it's too late. It's too late. You're already funny.
No. I said LG. That's me. That's my initials.
I think of the company
The punchline went over his head. He wasn't ready for it.
All right, sorry.
I'm trying to think of the actual name of the company that they originally came out with the technology, and Samsung bought them out, and it became Samsung Pay. And now you are LG Pay, and now I think if I'm correct, it's called Google Pay. Yeah, Google Pay. So where
Yeah.
you literally tap your phone up against the the credit card machine. I don't know what you call those little kiosk looking things. The terminal, the pay terminal.
Yeah. Yeah. The NFC connect with the terminal. Yeah.
Right. So I would love to see LG come out with for whatever reason the credit cards that I have or debit cards that I have, they are not supported with LG Pay. So I have to now use Google Pay, shall we say, to use it. Whereas when I had a Samsung phone, you could use it. And I think you guys have like Apple Pay with iOS, shall we say. So
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
it's no knock against no one brand, shall we say. It's just really one of those things that I wish LG would come out and allow more credit cards because we were literally at we stopped at Popeyes to get some chicken the other day,
Mm-hmm.
pay cash, and I think it came up to $9.52. We gave them 10, and the lady gave me 15 cents back, and she says we don't have no more change. And I'm like, if you would have told me that, I would have paid with my debit card or my
You
credit.
better find a way to give me my change. Is
Right.
what you need to do. Okay.
I'll give you 5 minutes. Like we're in the drive-through. We don't got time for
Oh my
for you to
goodness.
find 48 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's literally a change shortage, and I'm thinking as we're talking
Wow.
tech right now, people need to get a little bit more familiar with the Google Pay, the Samsung Pay, Apple Pay. LG needs to step their game up, shall we say, to where we need to step our game up to where we're a little bit more familiar with this because live streaming snuck up on everybody that was not in the business. And I think now, within the next year, 2 years, everyone's going to be using debit cards, credit cards, and these devices that are in our hands, shall we say, they're with us all the time. You may leave the credit card, but if you have it on your phone, all you do is just tap it up against that terminal, and it takes the money right off the phone because the card is already registered. So I think it's something that people need to start thinking about and just seeing what quite naturally you're going to go with the brand that you're more familiar with that you trust, such as Google and Apple Pay and Google Pay. But Samsung and LG has their own pay versions or applications, shall we say, and I just wish LG would step their game up just a little bit more to where debit and credit cards are more available.
Makes sense. And I didn't know it was actually segregated like that, right? I honestly thought that all the Android Pay ecosystems were tied together, but that's interesting that you say that. So maybe that's a show for another day. Maybe we ought to talk about that as well.
Hey man, I'm glad. Unfortunately, are any of the apps that you guys have given, are any of those available for Android and iOS, or are they all iOS
No.
apps?
That one password is on
Is
all
available.
over.
Yeah.
No, but you said
Stash.
but what is it? I wasn't. Remember, I missed the first.
Okay, yeah. I think the only one that I talked about that is not on the Android platform is Streaks, but Stash Invest is, LifeSum is, Canva is, Afterpay and Quad. One of the two is. I mean, those are two separate apps, Afterpay and QuadPay. I'll take a look and see and put those in the show notes. But those types of capabilities should be available for both platforms. I had a couple of others that I think are platform specific, but yeah, the ones that we talked about tonight, all except for Streaks, at least on my side, are cross platform.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I know one password is cross-platform, but I have to look at the others. I think Donut that I talked about early was currently, it's brand new, and as we talked about earlier, they're starting on iOS. I assume they'll expand, but right
Yeah.
now they're just iOS. I'll have to look up the others.
Gotcha. Well, that's good stuff, man. Well,
Yeah.
I think this is the technology that we do, and we want to bring it all to you guys, shall we say, in a informative way, a fun and exciting way, shall we say, and hopefully you'll go back and watch the replay of the video if you came in at a later time and date and missed the first half, showed up late like I did on my own show. But we're talking apps, we're talking technologies. My man Lance is James, and I'm Tallboy.
I got nothing else to say, man. But Mr. Gilliland,
You're supposed to be the producer. You're supposed to hit the
I'm just but you didn't say thank you to Lance, brother. I mean, you just rude. You know why are you so rude, man? Lance is supposed to be doing something else. He's supposed to be playing his game right now.
You did. You gave me the shout out.
I gave out the shout out.
Well, I'm just gonna shut up there.
Thank you so much for being for filling in for Tallboy. I greatly appreciate you, man. I mean, you came in on that Central Standard Time because all we do is promote Eastern and Pacific. We never promote Central Standard Time. So I just want to thank you so much for covering the first 15 minutes. And the producer, on that note, thank y'all for watching the show. It's a Tallboy experience. It's the James.
Oh, shit.
I can't even finish what I'm golly. It's ITN. It's the lab, baby.